Sports Grind. My name is Tyler Wargo.
And I'm Mickey Perella.
Today we're going to be talking about the division series, which is still going on. We're also going to be talking about the NFL. We're also going to be talking about the NBA Finals, which is Lakers on top 3-1 right now.
Yep.
So lots to talk about
It's
there.
going to be a lit show tonight.
Honestly.
It's going to be a lit one.
Honestly. As we start off with Atlanta winning the series 3-0 against the Marlins, the Braves scored 7 points and the Marlins scored 0. How does that look on the Marlins right now? They just lost the series, and their last game was a complete blowout.
The Marlins should be proud they made it this far. No one even expected them to even make the playoffs.
Yep.
So the fact that they got into the DS is a big accomplishment for them.
Honestly, I got to give it to the Marlins. I mean, they've been doing really well. I mean, they've been having good pitching. They've been doing everything that meets the division series standards. But the Braves, they got Acuna, they got Freeman. They have a pretty stacked team. They've been hitting. Like, we've been seeing a lot of homers.
Right.
So,
and that was the strength of the Braves coming into that series, and then they delivered with Freddie Freeman and Marcell Ozuna and Ronald Acuna. But really what surprised everyone about the Braves in this series was their pitching. They had 4 of the 5 games since they've made the playoffs have been shutouts.
Exactly.
That is exemplary, and I think that's going to be shown against the Dodgers.
Honestly, it's going to be a good game to see because we now have I think the playoffs are gradually getting better with 2 stacked teams facing each other. We're seeing heavy hitters in the playoffs. This is what we're supposed to see. This is what we want to see. So
definitely,
we also move on.
Exactly what we want to see.
We also move on to the Astros as they win the series against the Athletics 3-1 as they move on to play the winner of the Rays-Yankees game, which will be on tonight at 7:10. So stay tuned, Yankee fans and Rays fans. So honestly, the Astros, they've been having really good pitching as well. I mean, honestly, they're hitting. Like, they've been getting a lot of RBIs, they've been getting a lot of runs, and
They're hitting.
They've been also doing great fielding. We're seeing like crazy plays out there.
Altuve, he made a good play. I mean, they've been really good. The Astros, everyone was doubting them this year because everyone said, "Oh, the sign stealing scandal. Are they not that good as they usually were?
And
were they actually not as talented as they looked?" And they're just proving that they're just as good as what everyone thought they were.
That just shows that you should not define a team because of something that they did in their past.
Exactly.
Because of their skill. Because we all know that even the Astros before that were good as a team.
They were.
They were still hitting. They were still doing good. They had great pitching. So there was really nothing. I think, honestly, that was just the coach. I don't think it wasn't just the players. The players are just their own individual selves. They're just doing what they have to do, which is to win games.
Definitely.
So we also go to the Rays-Yankees, which is also a really good series so far. They are 2-2. They will be playing tonight, as that's the only team that is actually looking really good to see. We've been seeing a lot of hitting for both teams, but the thing is that the Yankees, they have good hitting, they have good feeling, but they don't have any pitching.
That's right. They don't have any pitching at all. Besides Garrett Cole, they've been struggling. They've been trying to outsmart the Rays, and that's not been working.
I've been seeing Tanaka have to rely on his fielding.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, did you see? I remember one time when I was watching the Rays-Yankees when it was at Petco Park, which was last game. He literally gave up. So Tatis Jr. right came up. He hit a bomb, and then Aaron Judge robbed him, right? But that you knew that was gone if Aaron Judge didn't do anything about that. So that just shows that Masahiro Tanaka needs to definitely improve if he wants to, or the Yankees in general with their pitching. They need to definitely do something in order to win because there's a lot of good pitching right now so far. So the Yankees, they need to keep working hard.
They gotta pitch better. Simple as that.
Simple as that. And honestly, the Rays, they have good pitching. They have good hitting.
They gotta hit a little bit more for my liking. They haven't been hitting as well as they should have. If they hit a little bit more, I think they should be able to beat the Yankees tonight and move on. But we'll see. This can go either way.
Yeah, so 2-2 series, who knows, either way. But we should be seeing a great game, though, tonight. So without further ado, we also have the Dodgers that played so well in the series, knocking out the Padres.
Extremely well.
3-0. Bellinger. Let's talk about Bellinger. This man,
he's crazy.
He's
insane. MVP.
I think maybe not one of the best, but he's definitely one of the best players so far in the playoffs. You see him in the field. You see him hitting. He's robbing homers. He's hitting bombs. The man's just insane.
Crazy.
The man's crazy.
He's crazy.
So honestly, he knocked out the Dodgers knocked out the Padres, and I know the Padres It's crazy how they got knocked out because they had Tatis Jr., they had Will Myers, they had Machado. They've had a lot of these good players, but like I didn't expect them to just get a complete blowout in the series 3-0. We would at least see 3-1, 3-2, but no, 3-0. So.
The reason for that is their Padres pitching. Their best two starters this year, Mike Clevenger and Donelson Lamet, both got hurt. And they were not able to pitch at all, basically. Clevenger pitched about an inning before he got hurt. And then Lamet never pitched because he got hurt before the playoffs started. So it really hampered them, their pitching, which was not good, and they had to rely on guys like Chris Paddock and Zach Davies, who have been relegated to like the middle of the guys instead of the front rotation guys, and that hurt them. And the Dodgers pitching with Clayton Kershaw, Walker Buehler,
Kershaw is amazing.
Exactly. They've been pitching extremely well, and since the bad pitching of the Padres, the offense took all over it, and the Dodgers were able to exploit it.
Definitely, and we're seeing a lot of teams rely on their offense in this playoff.
Yes.
Not really seeing them go off on their pitchers.
Absolutely.
So, or their defense in general. But it could have been the Padres-Braves. That could have been a good series. But honestly, Dodgers-Braves, that's a typical playoff matchup you would typically see in the playoffs. So that's going to be a good game to see. We got Acuna Jr. and Freeman versus Mookie Betts and Bellinger.
It is. And then you got some pitchers down there too. You're going to have Max Fried versus Clayton Kershaw. Two left-handers who both throw nice curveballs. It's going to be a really good matchup in the National League Championship Series.
It really is. I mean, honestly, I have nothing else to say about that. We're just going to have to see and find out.
Definitely.
It's getting better and better. So, without further ado, we're also going to be going to Week 4, which was last weekend on Sunday, as the NFL played a lot of games.
Yep.
So we started off with the Saints picking up a win from their two-game loss streak. That's what I like to see as a Saints fan. I like to see the Saints finally actually win again. But we got to see that be consistent.
Definitely.
Because I don't like to see, because I know the Saints, they have some hurt players, but and I'm noticing that there's a huge difference between their hurt players and then when they don't have their hurt players and they're back on the field, then the Saints are just unstoppable.
Right.
So the Saints just need their players.
Definitely. They got to get some guys hurt, but this was a must-win against the Detroit Lions. They took the W. The Lions are in really bad shape. They had a lead. They lost the lead. Matt Patricia's not looking good as a head coach of the Detroit Lions right now.
So the Saints won the game 35-29, and the Saints will be playing the Chargers. Now, the Chargers, I know the Chargers aren't that good of a team, but if you look 2 weeks back, they actually almost beat the Chiefs.
They did.
So we might be seeing a good game this Sunday.
Definitely. Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert, he's the new kid on the block, new draft pick. He hopes to be the Chargers' new franchise quarterback for the future. He's looked good so far. Hopefully he continues his progression next week.
We'll see. Honestly, it's going to be a good game to watch. So the Chargers did lose against Brady and the Bucs 38-31. But Brady went off in the second half. I know in the first half, Brady was just... Where was his throws going? His throws were going literally to the stands. His throws were not that good. But then in the second half, he picked up and got the touchdowns. And then he also helped the Bucs to the win 38-31. So Bucs beat Chargers. I mean, the Bucs are pretty good right now. So
they are pretty good
I'm not
right
really
now.
surprised if they beat the Chargers, honestly.
I'm not really surprised either. This was another game the Bucs should have won, and they did. Tom Brady threw 5 touchdowns. He looked really good against the Chargers.
As we also have the Bengals beating the Jaguars 33-25 in Cincinnati. Bengals are actually doing... They're not the best in the league, but they're definitely...
They're hanging around there.
They're hanging around there. We'll see. I mean, we still have a lot of weeks to go. We could be seeing improvement by the Bengals, so keep an eye out on the Bengals. So we'll see.
Definitely. The Bengals were looking to be one of the worst teams in the league. They're probably still one of the lower teams, but at least they're competing hard. First career win for Joe Burrow, the number 1 overall pick.
As we also have the Vikings toppling over the Texans 31-23. Vikings are pretty well. I mean, do you see their offense?
Definitely.
Their offense is they're making every catch.
They are. And it's been slow to start off the year. They did not do well against teams like, Indianapolis, but now they're starting to get into a groove. Dalvin Cook's running the football. Adam Thielen and Justin Jefferson are catching passes from Kirk Cousins, and I think that is the reason why the Vikings could be good in the second half of the year.
You got to think the Texans are not that good of a team anyway. I mean, I think this was definitely a nice, easy win for the Vikings, but still, the Vikings got a win. That still could mean a lot for the future.
Definitely.
So.
Texans are really in trouble. They fired their HUD coach and GM, Bill O'Brien. They're really in bad shape right now. Houston, I'm sorry.
We got to see more from Deshaun Watson.
We do. And the problem is they don't have any picks. They traded them away. So they're in a really bad situation right now. Hopefully they'll get a coach that can use Deshaun Watson's strengths and get him back up next year, because this is a lost season for the Houston Texans.
Seahawks conquer in Miami, beating the Dolphins 31-23. And honestly, I think the Dolphins are like relying on Fitzpatrick right now, because if you were to take out Fitzpatrick, right, then the Dolphins would have bad offense and bad defense. But you're seeing the Dolphins put points on the board due to Fitzpatrick, due to his throwing yards, due to his touchdowns. But other than that, I mean, their defense is just terrible. And their offense is not that good either. The offense relies on Fitzpatrick.
Definitely. Ryan Fitzpatrick is really carrying this offense right now. This defense has been really struggling, although they have been kind of fighting in games. I like Brian Flores, the coach. I think he's doing a solid job with a team that's lacking some roster depth.
Exactly, but we're talking about...
Oh, by the way, Dolphins fans, watch out in the future. Tua Tagovailoa, he might be coming up pretty soon.
Right. Also, the Seahawks. They're doing really well right now.
They are. Russell Wilson
is actually
candidate.
He is. I can see him being like really up there for the top players right now in the league. Honestly, Wilson. I mean, you're seeing him on headlines of Seahawks games. He's the guy to look at right now. And when you put him against Fitzpatrick, I definitely think Wilson's slightly better by far. So, Browns also beat the Cowboys in Dallas as Beckham had a good game, scoring 2 touchdowns, having 81 yards. This is what Browns fans like to see.
This is.
I mean, they like to see Beckham.
This is the best Cleveland team in years.
Well, because another thing is that Beckham's putting a huge number on the board.
He is.
2 touchdowns last game. He's working. He has great chemistry with the QB.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield.
The offense, obviously for the Browns, is doing really well, but the defense too as well. The defense is doing really well too. So
definitely. The Browns have been sort of in this weird spot for a while. They've been collecting talent. They finally got a GM, coach, quarterback, finally stabilized, and now you're seeing the results on the field.
And that's just because they had a good choice picking Beckham Jr. and the GM. I mean, those choices really made a significant impact on the Browns.
Definitely.
So they won that game 49-38, and the Cowboys obviously are just not doing well.
Cowboys fans,
I'm sorry.
You don't have a defense. You've given up the most points throughout the entire year. America's team, more like America's bad team. It sucks. It's not good.
That they're the worst defense in the league?
Yeah.
I can
or Atlanta.
I can agree to
one of those two are.
I gotta say Cowboys. Every time I watch the Cowboys, they're just not. They're just
not it. Not it. They're not it.
So the Cardinals played the Panthers in Charlotte. And the Panthers won this game 31-21. Obviously, the Panthers, they're still looking good, even without Newton.
Bridgewater.
Even without Newton, you still got a really good backup QB that stepped up for the starter, which is Bridgewater. Yeah. And he's been really showing the Panthers why he deserves to be on the Panthers and why he deserves that the Panthers should get the win.
Definitely.
So, we love seeing that. Ravens win 31-17 in Washington, and it was all about Lamar Jackson, as he is literally a quarterback and he scored 2 touchdowns. He is the man to defeat, honestly, in the NFL.
Definitely. He's dominating.
There was more quarterbacks out there like Mahomes that you have to watch out for, so he's not the best in the league. But the Washington State football team is literally, their defense. Now, here's the thing. What's worse, the Washington State football team's defense or the Cowboys defense?
Oh, Dallas.
Dallas
defense ain't it.
Honestly, I definitely think, except Washington State can actually improve over time. I don't know if it's the Cowboys.
They can improve. Dallas? No, you're not going to improve. No.
So, I definitely think the Ravens, this was kind of an easy win for them, but this is not going to help them get ready for an even bigger team like the Chiefs in the future.
Definitely.
So they need to focus on playing those bigger teams. They have to play those better teams instead of just playing these bad teams like the Washington. Because what are they going to get from that? Obviously, they're going to win. So, Rams are also 3-1 so far as they defeat the 0-4 Giants. Obviously, no shocker right there. Giants are not good. Giants fans, your coach is not really the best. And the offense is just completely slumping. We're seeing a lot of interceptions, so we don't want to see that. But the Rams won that 17-9 in Los Angeles, so Rams had home field advantage. But even if they were in New York, I don't think that would make a difference. So, one of the best teams in the league, the Bills, collect the win 30-23 in Vegas against the Raiders. And the Bills' top player is Stephon Diggs and Cole Beasley. And the Bills, they're like one of the top teams right now in like the whole league.
They are. Josh Allen is looking much improved. Add Stephon Diggs, they're already good receiving core, and they're producing right now.
And we've seen a huge impact from last year's Bills to this
Definitely.
year's Bills.
Stephon Diggs being there has made all the difference for the Bills' offense.
And honestly, without further ado, we also go to the Colts and Bears. Colts also are looking really good right now as they won last week 19-11 against the Bears. Bears fans, sorry, the Bears aren't that good. Honestly, I think definitely over time the Bears can definitely improve, but I mean, when you put the Bears up against the Colts or something like that, I mean, I'm not really finding this a shocker.
I'm going to give a little bit slack on Chicago, though. Indianapolis is at the best defense in the entire league, so maybe they can improve.
Colts are a hard team to beat for defense-wise, not offense-wise, but Bears, though, they need to practice more with their defense and offense both together. But I definitely could see them doing well in the future, though.
Definitely.
So, we also go to 49ers as they came close in Philly, but not close enough as they lose against the Eagles. 25-20. Carson Wentz is doing a great job for the Eagles right now.
He is. He had a good game, although he kind of struggled in the first three. But he did improve this game. The 49ers, they're all banged up. They didn't even have their starter, Jimmy Garoppolo. This is just a whatever
the thing is that I felt like
Niners.
Last game when they played the 49ers on Sunday, I felt like the Eagles relied on Wentz right there.
They did rely on Wentz. They don't have anybody with Wentz.
No. I mean, there's no big names in the Eagles besides Carson Wentz.
And everyone's hurt. If any of the other big names, like, they gotta get some players.
We're seeing a lot of hurt players in the NFL right now.
We are.
And, it's unfair for those teams that, like, for example, the Saints. Like, I bet if you had Michael Thomas in there, they would have been, like, at least, like, winning 3 games. They could have been at least 3-1.
Definitely.
But no, it just... But Michael Thomas can definitely come back in the future. So.
He can.
Saints, it's not over for them. Also, for any other team like the Eagles, it's not over for you if you have a hurt player. They definitely just need time to recover, and once they recover, they're healthy and they're able to strike back with the team.
Right.
So, Patriots also heading into Kansas City as Newton did not play due to COVID-19. And honestly, I feel like that's why they lost.
They did. Yep.
Because... I mean, the Patriots only scored 10 points. If this was if Newton was on the field, we could definitely be seeing more numbers on the board.
Definitely. Bill Belichick kind of exposed Kansas City. And the reason why New England won is exactly what Tyler just said. Brian Hoyer cannot get you the win. Jarrett Stidham cannot get you the win. Cam Newton, on the other hand, he can get you dubs. So that's where it comes down to.
Also, when the Chiefs have Mahomes and Tyreek Hill, it's like...
explosive.
It's explosive, and that's why we're seeing these high-scoring games. 26-10. We saw a huge lead that the Chiefs took on them. So,
definitely, right at the end of the game.
Exactly. I definitely think we were going to be seeing a lot from the Chiefs this year.
We are.
And it's weird. Chiefs don't even have any hurt players, and you see them doing really well, just like last year, how they won the Super Bowl.
Definitely.
So, the Packers put a number on the Falcons by winning 30-16. Todd Gurley scored 2 touchdowns and got 57 yards. Todd Gurley right now is probably one of their best players right now for the Packers.
You said it. Todd Gurley is playing well.
Other than Aaron Rodgers. I mean, when you got Aaron Rodgers and Todd Gurley on the field, the Packers are getting yards in.
Yeah,
I'm seeing Aaron Rodgers throw these bombs and they're catching them.
I know. It's crazy.
And I don't think, and honestly,
He's been playing really
they're
well.
100% going to make the playoffs in the future.
Definitely. They're 100% going to make the playoffs. Watch them out for the Super Bowl. They're a Super Bowl contender. Watch out. They're gonna be good.
Probably. Buccaneers lost 20-19 against the Bears. So we definitely got to see more from the Buccaneers right there.
Definitely.
I mean, other than just a 1-point difference game. So we also take you lastly to the NBA Finals, Game 5. That is tonight. Lakers lead 3-1. After their last game on Tuesday, as the Lakers held on 102-96 against the Heat. I think the Lakers definitely got this in the bag.
Closing it out.
I mean, even if the Heat won tonight, I don't think it's going to completely define them in the next. I don't think it's going to really do anything for next game. I mean, they need 2 more games to win. So even if they won tonight, Lakers can still easily just win the finals. So we could be possibly seeing your new NBA champs for the 17th time, the Los Angeles Lakers.
Definitely.
How do you feel about that? Possibly just winning the whole finals.
I think it's good for LeBron. I think it's good for the NBA that the Lakers are good. And I think that if LeBron is extending his legacy as one of the best players in NBA history.
I mean, every team he's on, they end up winning at least like
Miami,
Cleveland,
and now LA.
LeBron is obviously the best in the league, if you could just pull that off.
He is best player in the world.
So obviously we could be seeing the Lakers being new champ due to not just because of LeBron, but mostly because of LeBron. Because every team he's on, they always win a final. So you just notice that?
Yeah, I know. He carries his team. But this year he's having help from Anthony Davis, Rajon Rondo, Dwight Howard. This is a very big thing for a bunch of players on that Lakers squad.
It really is. I can't wait to see what's going to happen tonight. Are the Heat going to win or the Heat going to lose?
If the Heat win, they get a lot of credit for being a gritty team that's sticking in. When everyone says the Lakers are absolutely going to win this.
It doesn't mean that... I mean, at least they can hold on, but it doesn't mean that the Lakers can actually, take a loss to the Heat after, them winning 1 game tonight.
Right.
Lakers still have a huge shot of winning, so... Yeah, without further ado, I'm Tyler Wargo.
And I'm Nicky Perello.
And thank you guys for watching Sports Grind Season 2, Episode 9. And yeah.